Okay, so apparently people aren't too happy. Well, some people aren't too happy about my recent three videos, political-based videos, um, and they've let it be known. It's amazing how people agreed, how people will be supporting and thumbing up and blah 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 until I say something that they just don't quite like. And they don't actually go into any details as to what exactly I'm wrong about, um, which would be quite interesting considering that everything that I've said can be there's is historically documented. But okay, um, people get mad. People are mad. Okay, fine. All right. Um, but since so many people are upset that I am not exactly favorable of Trump and as though I'm favorable of Hillary. Okay. Look. My only question to you people is really just two-part question. Okay, because unlike some who claim to be fair and equal, I actually am, and my only two questions are: one, who's paying for all? I mean, I've said this before, but who's paying for all this shit that your boy Trump is promising and supposedly is going to go through with from what he said post-election, post he won, post shit, I'm in, I managed to get him, I managed to fool him, I'm in this bitch. Who's going to pay for all that shit? Right? Because he's not going to be using his own money, right? Who's going to pay for all that? You know, who's paying? Actually, three questions. Second one, which I just thought of, is who's going to benefit from all the stuff that he's doing? Because, I mean, what? You're going to tell me, oh, all the jobs he's going to create doing all this stuff? Okay. Wow, government created jobs. How is this different from North Korea doing stuff that is not based off what the public, the market demands? It's what the government is ordering. How is that different from communist type thing where the government is creating the jobs? He built. What happens after this wall gets built? Huh? Who's benefiting from that? Him and his buddies who might own construction companies, perhaps. Buddies who might own not law enforcement but armed forces, even if they're not official government issued, government stamped law enforcement agencies or agents, but just, I don't know, private armed forces, to guard the border or whatever. Like who's benefiting from all of his shit? Because I can tell you right now, the only people that are going to be paying for this shit is the taxpayers, so they're not going to benefit from this, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of questions I could ask, right? You want to get rid of the illegal immigrants, okay, as though they're taking the jobs anybody wants, right? And that's not going to happen because there's too much money to be made off their ass. You want to put this. This one gets me. You want to put taxes on imports. Tax the shit coming in from China. Really? Really? See, because other countries have tried that, where they try to tax. Actually, what you can like go on like Learn Liberty or whatever, like these libertarian slash right wing places, channels on YouTube. I think even Prager University, quote unquote, right? And then they're saying the same thing. You want to tax imports, right? And that's supposed to help domestic stuff. And what their argument is, well, that actually doesn't do stuff because if imported things can be, if people from other areas, from other countries can make stuff better than domestic people can, Well, you're artificially keeping up the domestic people, whereas free trade and supply and demand and the, what is it, Austrian economics or whatever the hell kind of economic theory would say that the better one rise to the top and the worse one die out and fall to the bottom and sink to the bottom, right? So you want to get rid of illegal immigrants. Okay, fine. And that's supposed to help with jobs. Well, jobs aren't coming back because they're gone, and most people can't do the high-level upper management jobs. Actually, not even upper management, just like high-level, need a master's in computer engineering, PhD in computer science to do those top-level jobs, surgeon, whatever, okay? Most people can't do those jobs. Don't have the training or the time to get the training for those jobs, right? I say that as though you can just take some fast track 6-month course on that. Right? So the jobs that most people can do or be reasonably trained to do in a reasonable amount of time to make some money to live, okay, those jobs are either A, gone overseas, long since been gone, or B, the machines are taking them or have taken them already, or will soon take them if they haven't. But you want to bring jobs back here and you want to put taxes. Your boy Trump wants to put taxes on imports. Make China play a bit more fair or whatever, Okay. And that is supposed to help how? You want to also get rid of minimum wage is what I have heard. I haven't even seen this or confirmed it myself, but it wouldn't surprise me. I've heard that he wants to just do away with minimum wage. Don't know how true that is. So you want to get rid of illegal immigrants, which has been, as far as I can tell from what I've read and come to understand, partially how you were able to keep a lot of your money, right? For all the work they did for you. You want to put taxes on China and just imports, right? To help kind of funnel stuff back to the domestic side. I mean, who knows what the hell level of quality that's going to... And then you want to get rid of minimum wage. You really think that if American companies are going to be able to compete, that they're going to be able to pay anything of consequence? Really? Right? There's a reason why China can afford to do the shit cheap is because they don't pay their workers anything. $1 a year or some shit like that. One Chinese dollar, not even US or Euro or British pound. One Chinese dollar a year to do all this shit that they're doing. You have any idea? I mean, shit, the standards of, like, the drop in standards of living. Do you have any fucking idea how badly America's standards of living would have to drop and how people would have to get used to freaking Congo, Zimbabwe style society standards of living to be able to pull that off? Right? If America and Americans, people living in America, let me just be technical with that and be specific. People living in America, let's not even just say Americans here, and I'll leave you all to figure out why I say that. People living in America are to keep up their standard of living, no matter how bad or how good it is, right? Supposedly, the worst in America is better off than most in the rest of the world, especially the third world. Okay. If they're to keep that up, do you really think they can keep that up off no minimum wage, much less high pay, having to compete with China, so meaning dropping prices, right? Or reducing the quality because it's like, well, it's cheaper to make it here, but since there's no competition from outside because of the high taxes, well, you have to get it from here, and so dropping quality. There's videos on this kind of shit. right? The quality of stuff will drop, okay? If you try to force people to make it here, rather than just let whoever can make it the best make it, right? So who's paying for this shit that he's proposing, you know? I mean, you're not going to cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the three biggest fucking wastes of government spending. You're not cutting those, I guarantee you that. Nobody on the left, and especially right, will let your boy Trump do that. Okay? Even though that's what needs to be done, and ultimately, mathematically, will have to be done sooner rather than later. No, nobody's doing that right now. Who's benefiting from all this shit? Okay? And then my third thing, regarding this Obamacare business that he wants to get rid of, and that everybody is supposed, so many people, left and right, is supposed, especially right, is supposedly in support of. Let's see now. Clinton was in office his first term when I came to this country back in '93, was it? Okay. And I've been hearing ever since he went for his second run, this is Bill Clinton, obviously, how healthcare and just healthcare as a whole, just healthcare, medical, dental, vision, everything, just healthcare as a whole is just going up. The price is just going up. It's going up faster than everything else, even faster than tuition, which I believe is the second highest thing that's just going up out of control, even if everything else goes down. Healthcare, number one, and tuition, number two. I've been hearing that from Clinton. From Clinton's days. So that's Clinton, Bush 1, Bush 2, this is second Bush first term, second Bush second term. That's what? 15, 16 years? 14 to 16 plus years I've been hearing that? Of healthcare going up, long before Obamacare came in. But yet somehow Obamacare is the cause of all the healthcare problems as far as pricing goes. And yet I've been hearing from the longest time, we need healthcare reform, healthcare prices are going up too much. Yet somehow it's Obama's fault with this Obamacare. Oh my God. And I've been asking this question and nobody's been able to answer it to me. I'm not even asking the question anymore of how is it that all these other developed countries are able to have socialized medicine, universal medicine, and nobody seems to be in a hurry to give it away. And it's like, oh my God, well, they get taxed 100%. Okay, and yeah, okay, I understand that's the reason why. The taxes are fucking ridiculous. Nobody seems to be complaining about that. That's the one thing I noticed. Germany, other areas in Europe, Canada, I believe, has it. Nobody is. I mean, hell, they come over here when they need the most expensive shit, like a surgery, for like the 1 or 2 times in your life you might need that shit. But as far as just basic fucking healthcare, I don't see any of them trying to give it up. Why not? Why are they not? Why are they so comfortable with paying that fucking high taxes? All these other developed countries, and in some areas more developed than the US, right? If I remember correctly, the British pound as well as the euro trades for more exchange rate than the US dollar. And the Canadian dollar is, I think it's roughly the same, maybe a few cents more, a few cents less. But yet they're able to pull it off. Of course, somebody's probably going to come, oh, well, look at the size of their country, the size of this country. If it works, it works. I mean, shit. That's like saying, oh my God, if it's just a few atoms or a few cells or just an organ, it works fine. But when it's a giant mass of the same exact fucking atoms, it all of a sudden doesn't work. 1 plus 1 works, but 10 plus 10, which is just a whole bunch of 1 plus 1s, doesn't work. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, hell, those are my questions for all of you people that if the liberal left were to come up with all this shit, oh my God, well, what the fuck, oh my God, the economy, the money, blah, 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 blah. But I mean, but yet, you know, your boy Trump is in here, and all of a sudden, nobody's asking these questions anymore, or at least nobody that I can hear. Nobody on the right is asking this, and for some odd reason, I don't hear anybody on the left asking it either. That's the weird thing. Oh, and one other last question. Make America Great Again. I actually just heard this from Bill Burr. Bill Burr. Make America Great Again. Okay. How? How is he going to make America great again? And actually, from an interview with Jon Stewart, I also heard something similar. Bill Burr was more funny with it. But how is America not great, and how exactly, what does making America great again entail? What does it entail? Like what exactly? What specifically, right? And then as far as Bill Burr goes, hell, he said it himself, and if I can find it again, I'll link to it. Okay. America being great means your day-to-day life is automatically going to be great again as well. America becoming rich and prosperous and in a surplus magically makes you also rich and prosperous and in a surplus. Really? Really? I'm paraphrasing here. Really? Are you serious? Somehow America being quote-unquote great again, whatever that means, I don't know what it was before, and all of a sudden it's not great anymore, and you want to make it great again. How? Why? What standards or measurements or metrics are you using to gauge that? But somehow your individual life, oh, poor person who's working 5 jobs and just to make ends meet, is magically just going to be better again. Now, for all you people who want to say, bring it back to the good old days, and I don't mean the good old days like I usually mean it, if you all have seen my other 3 videos. I mean good old days of like $5 a gallon gas. No, like 5 cents a gallon gas, and $100 could buy a year's worth of food, and back in the 1930s and 60s and all that bullshit. People, for all of the type of you that want to think that, do realize a few things. Number one, it's real easy to do that when it's only one group of people in town, that being white people, and everybody else was essentially a third world country in the US, while the whites were first world country in the US, right? So there's that one. Number 2, you have the rest of the fucking world to deal with right now. That shit only works when you can sit there and prop yourself up when everybody else is weaker and you can stand on their fucking shoulders, okay? That shit doesn't work when everybody else wants the same shit you have and more or less, especially as a collective, but more or less has not, maybe not the military power, more or less, but has the geopolitical, geo-economical ability to not be pushed around as much. I mean, hell, back in the 1960s, 1930s, where the fuck was China? Where the fuck was maybe, well, okay, well, Russia might have still been here. Where was India? Where was Brazil and all those places? All these places are fucking major players on the planet now. Like, right? Hell, even some places in Africa. That 1960s and back world, 1960s on previously, that shit's not coming back. Right? It's not coming back, and for some of us, it's like, thank God. I think none more than blacks. Okay, but it's not coming back because the rest of the fucking world is demanding the same shit that the U.S. demands: more energy, more this, more that, more technology. Right? So, if that's your idea of making America great again, you fucking idiots, you just wasted a fucking election electing somebody that's going to do something that is mathematically, logically, damn near physically impossible. So yeah, those are my questions for you all. Somebody, video response, somebody, give me a logical fucking answer to my questions, okay? For all you people that want to sit here and write PMs to me about how I'm an idiot, I'm racist, I'm this and that, answer my fucking questions. Because I noticed all the shit that you all are talking, you didn't denounce anything. Well, you did denounce it, but you didn't actually prove me wrong in anything that I said. And you didn't come up with any logical counter. Okay? So, do please answer my questions. Thanks. And if you can't, just sit down and shut up. You know? Just sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. It's just that simple. Heading to the gym. Later.